perfect every single night is not a sustainable strategy for long-term success. The coaching decisions during crucial moments have also been questionable. In a league where every team has talented players who can take over games when given the opportunity, you can't expect miracles from the same few people every night. The bench needs to contribute meaningful minutes if this team wants to survive a grueling playoff run. White's rotation demolished with zero consequences. Honestly, the entire WNBA should be embarrassed by what happened during the Indiana Fever's nail-biting 78-74 victory over the Seattle Storm. This wasn't just another missed call. This was a perfect example of everything wrong with professional basketball officiating right now.
I don't even know what the players can do because the players aren't being protected. And I know so many of the time.
Or is there something more serious going on that they're not telling the public about? The playoff race adds urgency to every decision the team makes moving forward. The Western Conference playoff race is absolutely insane right now, with multiple teams separated by just a few games. Every single victory matters when it comes to determining home court advantage and favorable matchups in the first round of the playoffs. What makes this win even more impressive is that the Fever managed to
Times we're talking about this when it comes to the Indiana Fever, but this does happen across the league. There are many plays that we could pull up. Do you guys have any suggestions on what can actually be done? The coaches get fined when they call them out to the media. This is a top-down issue. This is a commissioner's issue.
Sophie was literally holding onto the ball after grabbing a defensive rebound when a Storm player straight up threw her to the ground. They were playing football instead of basketball. Aggressive defenders who know they can get away with almost anything. The broader implications of this officiating problem extend far beyond individual games. Sophie Cunningham's reaction to getting thrown to the ground with no call perfectly captured the frustration that's building throughout the league. Clark's furious response from the sideline showed what everyone in the league is feeling right now. Something needs to change before this officiating crisis completely derails what should be a historic season for women's basketball. The WNBA is a ball. The referee was standing right there watching it happen like he was enjoying some afternoon entertainment at the local park instead of doing his actual job.
Now, am I ever advocating for players to throw other players on the ground? No, we've seen so much of it throughout the WNBA. He watches this happen right in front of him. There's so much contact on the play and he does nothing. He doesn't blow his whistle. He doesn't stop the play. He doesn't call a foul here.
That's when Clark absolutely erupted from the sideline. Even though she's been stuck watching from the bench for senior trying to secure a playoff spot in what's turning out to be an incredibly competitive race for postseason positioning, they're running out of time to figure out their chemistry issues and late game problems. The Western Conference is absolutely loaded this year and every game matters when it comes to playoff seeding and home court advantage. For Indiana, this victory carried massive implications. The Fever improved to 17-12 and are now tied with Seattle for the stay quiet after witnessing such blatant incompetence. She screamed, "You were right in front of her. Why did you change your mind?" At the official, and honestly, every basketball fan in America should be asking the exact same question. The incompetence we witnessed was truly next-level stuff. If you're tired of refs ruining basketball and you want to see Sophie Cunningham continue being an absolute savage on the court, smash that like button and drop Sophie Savage in the comments. This story is about to get wild. Accident either. She's been on an absolute tear lately, and the fans have started calling her the blonde bomber because she keeps dropping these clutch shots when the team needs them most. Her confidence level right now is through the roof after that viral fight where she defended Clark and became an overnight sensation. The woman gained over 800,000 social media followers and saw her jersey sales outside of the court. Seattle had every opportunity to steal this game but couldn't capitalize when it mattered most. The Storm had multiple opportunities to steal this game and probably should have won based on how many wide open shots they had down the stretch. They couldn't execute when it mattered most, and that's becoming a theme for them this season. Skylar Diggins-Smith missed two wide open three-pointers that could have changed the entire complexion of the game. Nneka Ogwumike and the drama surrounding WNBA officiating is reaching a breaking point that nobody can ignore anymore. Clark's outburst perfectly captured what's become the biggest problem plaguing the WNBA this season.
The officiating in the WNBA, I kind of already went off on it, but it's just atrocious. Really, really bad. There have got to be rules to present overt physicality from dominating the game.
Points in the middle of the fourth quarter basically saved the game for Indiana when everything was falling apart around them. Boston's recent resurgence couldn't have come at a better time. She's finally starting to look like herself again after struggling since Clark got injured. If she can maintain this level of play, it would solve a huge problem for the Fever because they desperately need someone other than Sophie to step up consistently. Boston's ability to control the paint and dominate smaller players like Nneka Ogwumike is exactly just Fever fans complaining about it anymore. Players, coaches, and fans across the entire league are calling out these officials for their absolutely terrible decision-making week after week. Just think about how ridiculous this has gotten. Sophie Cunningham got fined $500 just for posting a TikTok calling refs stupid and useless. But somehow, actual assault on the basketball court goes unpunished. That tells you everything you know Coaster player because she'll drop 23 points one game and then shoot 18% the next game. There's absolutely no in-between with her, and that makes it impossible for the coaching staff to know what they're getting on any given night. The woman has made something like 11 of her last 34 shots over the past few games. That's absolutely brutal efficiency, and when your second leading scorer is shooting like he's blindfolded, it makes winning games significantly more difficult than it needs to be. Sophie's transformation from role player to legitimate star has been one of the most entertaining storylines of the season. She's embracing the enforcer role while also being the team's most consistent offensive threat. That's not something you see very often in professional basketball, but her heroics couldn't completely mask what almost became another classic Fever meltdown. Speaking of spectacular disasters, the Indiana
scratching on my face, I scratching on my body, and these guards on the other team get these ticky-tack fouls, and I'm sick of it. I get fouled like that every possession. Ricky gets fouled like that in the post all the time, and they don't call it, and I don't know what else to do. Like, it's really frustrating though. I'm like, I feel, I mean, there's multiple shots at the end of the game, either go into the...
have some kind of psychological block when it comes to closing out games properly. The primary culprit behind this near disaster was painfully obvious to anyone watching. The biggest reason the Fever almost collapsed was because Kelsey Mitchell decided to have one of the worst shooting performances of her entire career. Honestly, watching her play was painful for everyone involved, including probably Mitchell herself, but shining through all this chaos. Sophie Cunningham just had another absolutely spectacular performance that proves she's become the Fever's most reliable clutch player while Caitlin Clark recovers from her injury.
That's a PNW win! W's in the chat. W's in the chat.
Attack waiting to happen. The Storm managed to cut the lead all the way down to 73-72 with just over 3 minutes left. At that point, you could practically hear every Fever fan reaching for their blood pressure medication because we've seen this movie before and it usually doesn't end well. The team has developed this infuriating habit of building big leads and then completely forgetting how to play basketball.
But the way you facilitated and that one big jumper that you made, we dug in and got stops when we needed to. I mean, big time win, y'all. Big time win. Now
the woman went 5 of 6 from the floor and 4 of 5 from three-point range to finish with 17 points. Here's the crazy part that really shows how much this team is relying on her right now.
This almost turned into a disaster.
The Indiana Fever just almost pushed me to a heart attack. The Indiana Fever nearly blow a 12-point fourth quarter lead. We allow the Seattle Storm to go on an 11-0 run in the fourth quarter. Stephanie White, I keep telling y'all, I don't trust her. I'm sorry.